All right, what's up to the 3 people that downloaded my podcast on Podbean and the 27 views on YouTube that I'm pretty sure were all me shame listening to this last night? How are you guys? I'm doing good. So, um, 10 seconds in and I'm already adjusting. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm doing this pretty early. This is actually the next day, and I'm gonna upload it tonight. Just because that was really exciting. I don't know if you guys actually listened to the podcast or if you got, like 10 seconds in and clicked away. Either way, that's pretty cool that 3 people downloaded it. I appreciate that. If if you downloaded this one and you didn't listen to the last one, I highly suggest that you avoid it like the plague that is going around and continue to not listen to the authorities when they say keep away. So go ahead and go listen to it. Cringe a lot and cry because that's the spirit of this podcast. Like I said, I shame listened to it a lot, and it's not going to get better from here, I promise. It's only going to get worse. So I've decided to ignore all of my research from yesterday, and instead, today, I am just going to be reading tongue twisters. And we're going to see how that goes. This might not be as long as yesterday's, or it might be even longer. We'll see. I don't know how long I'm going to do daily podcasts. I might not even do another one. I might start doing them every Monday, or, if anyone comments or anything and they're like, hey, do them on a Tuesday. If you're the only one who comments, guess what? You're going to get your way. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to do some tongue twisters. We're not going to get started right away because that's not the spirit of this podcast. First, I need to ramble for 10 minutes and then change my mind about what we're going to be doing today. Am I still recording? Oh, yeah. I thought I just canceled out of this recording. Guys, I really am a mess, but that's okay. Okay, all right. So, first of all, I would like... My equipment is garbage. The coronavirus. Now, I know it's serious, and I'm not going to speak to the science of it or the devastation that I know people are feeling, because I'm privileged enough to live in an area that, is doing pretty good, and our medical teams here are able to keep up, and, we're not struggling too bad. I live in an area where we haven't had any deaths yet. We just hit 30 confirmed cases, so we're doing okay. However, I work in a medical facility, and so we're not closed, so we're still seeing patients every day, and so I understand that some people don't think this is serious. I really do. I understand that some people are being told that it's just a flu, which I guess it is a strand of flu. Like I said, I'm not going to speak to the science of it. However, so we have to screen people at the door before they can come into our facility. And, we ask them generic questions. Have you been outside of the country in the last 2 weeks? Are you experiencing any flu or cold symptoms? All that stuff. And let me tell you, these people lie all the time. And, so we screen them at the door. They tell us, no, we're feeling fine, whatever. And, in the meantime, they're like holding in their cough. And they make it to the front desk to check in, and that's when they start coughing. And if anyone's listening to this, again, as you know, I'm sure, there is no hand sanitizer in this country right now. There is no face masks. There is no anything. And, they're all being sent to the hospitals and emergency clinics and all that stuff. And I work in an eye clinic. And every other eye clinic in town, every other dentist office has closed down. We're like the only ones that are open. Um, and so people just blatantly lie, and they come in and they're coughing all over everything, and we have to bleach and use 409 spray and Lysol and everything. So this ramble is just a PSA to say, even if you don't think it's serious, you're not just hurting yourself. And it's the same with the people going on flights, because I have a friend who just flew to Japan. I don't even know if he's going to be able to get back in the country, but yeah, he flew to Japan because flights were so cheap. And, you know, you have to consider, you buy that ticket, there's a flight attendant crew on there. You know, there's people that, because you bought that ticket, they have to work. And, you know, yes, it's their livelihood, and yes, they need jobs, but they also don't need to be put in danger just so you can get a cheap ticket. So, okay, rant over. Less serious topics now. Okay. Oh, crazy neighbors. Okay, so the first one. So this is on engvid.com. It's engvid.com. 50 tongue twisters to improve pronunciation in English. I'm not going to do all 50. But here's a classic. Ready? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickles Peter Piper picked? Smashing success, if I do say so myself. Oh, there's this YouTuber. I love her. I don't remember her name right now. She's deaf and British, and she wears super vintage clothes, and she's just so funny and so sweet, and my voice just reminded me of her, so, you know, props to me. Anyway, I'll have to look up her channel. I'm actually like scrolling through my YouTube now, seeing if I can find it. Oh yeah, Jessica Kellgren. She's lots of fun, and she has the prettiest vintage clothes, and she does like vintage hair tutorials and stuff. Anyway, okay, so here's a classic. I can do this one. I think anyone can do this one. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck. Oh no, he would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if woodchuck could chuck wood. Wait a minute, that's so much harder than I remember it being. Okay, wait. I remember it being, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He'd chuck all the wood that a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. This is a lot harder. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would as much as he could, chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if woodchuck could. That's a lot harder. Wow. I thought I was gonna do that one and be really good at it, but so much for that. All right, here's some short ones. 9 nice night nurses nursing nicely. 9 nice night nurses nursing nice. Is this even a podcast idea? You know, I took down, if you listen to the last podcast, I took down maybe, let's see, I have the Word document open still. I took down 4 or 5 podcast ideas for me to do this time, and I'm not doing any of them. Instead, I'm just doing tongue twisters. I thought of thinking of thanking you. That one wasn't bad. If dog chews shoes, whose shoes does he choose? Lesser leather never weathered wetter, better. Lesser leather never weathered weather better. There was this thing, my dad is kind of weird. I love him dearly, but he's kind of weird. And he, the Dr. Seuss books, specifically there was one, it's called Fox and Socks, and there is a passage in there about the Tweedle Beetles. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see, the Tweedle Beetle battle. And he used to read to us all the time, and it was, you know, wonderful and great. And he could rattle this off. Let me see if I can do it. So once again, this is Dr. Seuss, Fox and Socks. It goes, "Very well then, Mr. Knox, sir. Let's have a little talk about Tweedlebeetles. What do you know about Tweedlebeetles? Well, when Tweedlebeetles fight, it's called a Tweedlebeetle battle, and when they battle in a puddle, it's a Tweedlebeetle puddle battle. And when Tweedlebeetles battle with paddles in a puddle, they call it a Tweedlebeetle puddle paddle battle. And when beetles battle beetles in a puddle paddle battle, and the beetle battle puddle is a puddle in a bottle, they call this a Tweedlebeetle bottle puddle paddle battle muddle. And when beetles fight these battles in a bottle with their paddles, and the bottle's on a poodle, and the poodle's eating noodles, they call this a muddle puddle tweedle poodle beetle noodle bottle paddle battle. And now wait a minute, Mr. Fox, sir. Oh, it's time for me to take my antidepressants. Back to Dr. Seuss. Now, wait a minute, Mr. Socks, sir. When a fox is in the bottle where the Tweedlebeetles battle and their paddles in a puddle on the noodle-eating poodle, this is what they call a Tweedlebeetle, a Tweedlebeetle noodle poodle bottles paddled muddled duddled fuddled wuddled fox and socks, sir. Fox and Socks, our game is done, sir. Thank you for a lot of fun, sir." Yeah, and my dad could just rattle this off like so fast. And it's been a lot of years since I made him read this to me. And the other day, I say the other day, but it was probably 2 months ago, I was working in a big box store. We'll call it Medfriar, and they sold this book, and I brought it to him. He was waiting in the pharmacy to get his prescription, and I made him read it, and he was so embarrassed. But it's been 15, okay, not that long. It's been 12 or 13 years since he's had to read this, and it was like he didn't have a break in service. He just rattled it out, the Tweedlebeetle paddle in a bottle, and I'll have to see if he'll come on sometime and do it. It's really, really quality stuff. Another one he used to show me, or he used to say, was the "One bright morning in the middle of the night, two dead boys got up to fight. Back to back they faced each other, drew their swords, and shot each other." I, being his daughter, had to find out where this came from. And I don't know if I can remember the whole thing, so I'll have to Google it after the fact to see if I got it right. But it goes, it's pretty long, so get ready. It goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, skinny and stout, I'll tell you a tale I know nothing about. Admission is free, so pay at the door, pull up a chair, and sit at the floor. One bright morning in the middle of the night, two dead boys got up to fight. Back to back they faced each other, drew their swords, and shot each other." A deaf policeman heard the noise and went to kill those two dead boys. A blind man came to watch the fair play. A mute man came to shout. Oh, I messed it up. Oh, let's start over. Let's ignore that. That was the rewind sound. "Ladies and gentlemen, skinny and stout, I'll tell you a tale I know nothing about. Admission is free, so pay at the door, pull up a chair, and sit at the floor. One bright morning in the middle of the night, two dead boys got up to fight. A blind man came to watch the fair play. A mute man went and shouted hooray. A deaf policeman heard the noise and went to kill those two dead boys." That cannot be right. You know what? Like I said, I'll Google it. "He lived on the corner in the center of the block, in a 2-story house on a vacant lot. A long black hearse came to cart him away, but he ran for his life and is still... No, a long black hearse came to cart him away, but he ran for his life and is still gone today. He crashed through the wall." Oh, no! Oh, I've failed myself miserably. Oh, okay. Now I'm determined. A deaf policeman heard the noise and went to kill those two dead boys. Oh, I'm so offended at myself. All right, let's see if I can find it. I'm so annoyed. All right. No one. Everyone else has like way shorter versions. Okay, hold on. I can still remember this. The deaf policeman heard the noise and went to kill those 2 dead boys. If you don't know, that's at the end. Okay. Ignore. You know what? Google is not helping. He lived in the center. He lived on the corner in the center of the block in a 2-story house on a vacant lot. A man with 1 leg came walking by and kicked the lawman in his thigh. He crashed. He fell in a dry creek bed and suddenly drowned. Oh no. He crashed through a wall without making a sound into a dry creek bed where he suddenly drowned. A long black hearse came to cart him away, but he ran for his life and is still gone today. I watched from the corner of the big round table, the only eyewitness to the facts of my fable. If you don't believe my lies are true, ask the blind man. He saw it too. Wha-bam! I got it. Now my foot's asleep. I feel so accomplished. But that took me way too long to remember. And it's not as satisfying as I was hoping it was going to be. But I really couldn't find it on Google. The versions I found on Google... Let's see. The longest one I found is one bright morning in the middle of the night, 2 dead boys got up to fight. Back to back they faced each other, drew their swords and shot each other. One deaf cop heard the noise, ran over and shot the 2 dead boys. And if you don't believe this story's true, ask the blind man. He saw it too. I like my version better. I don't know why. I know my dad used to say it to me. He used to... When he was a kid, he'd listen to Dr. Demento, I think it was. Which was a little radio show where my dad, but where whoever the host was, just did random stuff. And he does this one, it's called Starkle Starkle Little Twink. It's like Starkle Starkle Little Twink, who the heck you are, I think. Let me see if I can find it. I was supposed to be doing tongue twisters. Let's see. Oh, I found it. Starkle, Starkle, little twink, who the heck you are, I think. I am not under what you call the affluence of Inkahall. I am just a little slort of sheep. I'm not drunk, the thinkle peep. I don't know who is me yet, but the drunker I stand here, the longer I get. So just give me one more fink to drill my cup, 'cause I got all day sober to Sunday up. That was it. That was... Oh, my dad. He also played... Oh my goodness. So he would show me... Like I said, Dr. Demento was called Dr. Demento for a reason. My dad showed me this song. It was called Dead Puppies Aren't Much Fun. Highly, highly recommend if you have a dark sense of humor. It's awful. And there were quite a few other little songs like that that he showed me. Okay, back to tongue twisters. My foot is really asleep. 150 of the best English tongue twisters. Let's see. 35 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. 33 thieves thought they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. I don't like that one. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theoretically it was it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning. I feel like I did really well on that one. Ooh, here is a long one. All right. Gear up. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock in a that's not fair. I don't know what that word is. In a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black Bok block. A dull dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short sharp shock, and a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chipper chopper on a big black block. Bars. Luke Luck likes, I don't, not doing that one. That one is going to turn bad quickly. There was what's the word am I looking for? They put an F somewhere that it was going to mess up and make me say a bad word that I definitely said last podcast and I did not mean to. Let's see. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Spread it thick, say it quick. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Spread it thicker, say it quicker. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Don't eat with your mouth full. That's not a tongue twister. Okay, so spread it thick, say it quick. So yellow butter. Oh no. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Spread it thick, say it quick. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Spread it thicker, say it quicker. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Don't eat with your mouth full. Okay, I gave it a try. I'm fairly certain I'm just really I'm too smart for the English language. My semester and a half of college just elevated my intelligence so far beyond what anyone could have imagined. Okay, so I was in theater in high school, and this is one of the ones that we did in theater. So it goes, the big black bug bit the big black bear, but the big black bear bit the big black bug back. There was also one, let me see if I can find it. It was, let me see. How did it go? It was something about marriage. Let's see, theater, warm up, about marriage. Let's see what pops up. Dude, I had so much fun in theater. We did a lot of games. We did like Honey If You Love Me, and we did Nice Pants, which I don't know if anyone has ever played that, but it's like you all get in a circle and there's one person in the middle, and the only thing that you can say to them is nice pants. And the intention is to show just how many different intentions can be put behind one phrase. And people got really creative with costumes, with tones of voice, with even some people said it in different languages, and it really could be sometimes inappropriate how many different ways you could say the words nice pants. Because you could do any action within reason, because we were in school. Any action, any enunciation, anything. Just as long as all you said was nice pants. We also did a game called Bus Stop, which was you had two chairs and you were simulating a bus stop. The person on the left is a normal person, and the person on the right is, for all intents and purposes, crazy. Which, I know there's a stigma behind that word, but meaning very much out of the ordinary in a way that makes people very uncomfortable. So what they would do is the normal person would be sitting in the left side, and the person on the right would do everything in their power, like they could do anything except touch the person to make them get up and leave. And actually, from my memory, we were actually even allowed to touch them. It just couldn't be inappropriate. It couldn't make anyone uncomfortable, like in real life. It had to be, within reason. And the person on the left had the understanding that, I'm a normal person. I'm not a theater person sitting in this seat right now, because if you're in theater, anything goes. But it got pretty crazy, and people did not like to play Bus Stop with the theater kids because we had no chill. I'm trying to think. I don't know if Honey I Love You, Nice Pants, Bus Stop. We played a game called Monster Shop, I think it was, where you have to mirror the person selling the monster, their like body shape, and then they have to try and sell that monster with improv. I didn't like that one as much. It didn't inspire me. That could be a whole podcast. My times in theater. Anyway, I could go on forever about that. And we're already 25 minutes in. And I couldn't find the theater warm up about marriage. That's probably because I misspelled theater. Hold on. I spelled it like a lisp. Theater. I can't find it. I'm very upset. I'll have to look into it. I'll have to text my theater friends and see if they remember how it went. It was basically about the guy being trapped in marriage, because, you know, what else to warm up some teenagers for theater other than making fun of marriage. All right, let's do another tongue twister. A tree toad loved a she toad who lived up in a tree. He was a three-toed tree toad, but a two-toed toad was she. The three-toed tree toad tried to win the two-toed she toad's heart, for the three-toed tree toad loved the ground, but that the two-toed tree toad trod. But the three-toed tree toad tried in vain, he couldn't please her whim. From her tree-toed bower and her two-toed power that she toad vetoed him. Wow, I don't even know what that was trying to say. And by that, I mean me. We're not going to analyze that one. I don't have the brain power. I mean, rip the guy toad, right? Just trying to get some. One smart fellow, he felt smart. Oh, no. This is one of the ones we did in theater. Okay. Once... I know where this is going. One smart fellow, he felt smart. Two smart fellows, they felt smart. Three smart fellows, they felt smart. Four smart fellows, they felt smart. Five smart fellows, they felt smart. Six smart fellows, they felt smart. Oh, I didn't do it. You're supposed to... I'm sure you could have guessed, but what normally happens is that you switch it to they smell fart. And then all the teenagers in the room laugh. Let's see. This is so much better than ASMR, isn't it? I'm so glad I decided not to. I still might do it. I'm still very interested in the prospect of, you know, just eating chips to a microphone. I hate all of these. Let's find better ones. I'm honestly so upset about the One Bright Morning thing. Like, I'm never going to get over that. I spent so long learning that, and I couldn't even remember. All right, this... Don't fail me now. This says the best tongue twisters. Oh, this is long. Okay. Oh, wait. I already did this one. Okay. If you must cross a course, cross cow across a crowded cow crossing, cross the cross course cow across the crowded cow crossing carefully. What? If you must cross a course, cross cow, cross a crowded cow crossing, cross the cross course cow, cross the crowded cow crossing carefully. 6 hick nick 6 slick bricks with picks and sticks. Can you can a canned can into an uncanned can like a can or can and a canned oh okay. Can you can you can a can into an uncanned can like a can or can a canned can into an uncanned can? Can you can a canned can, so the can is canned, into an uncanned can, so that's 3 cans, like a canner can. So you have 3 cans, like a canner, so someone whose job is being a canner, can a canned can into an uncanned can. I don't understand. We're going to move on. All right. Ooh, perfect. Best tongue twisters. See, I'm already messed up. Best tongue twisters in Spanish and French. I don't know either of those languages. Let's get going. Let's hope this isn't offensive. Cuando cuentes, cuenta cuantos, oh no. Cuando cuentes, cuenta cuantos, cuentos, cuentas, cuando cuentes, cuantos. When you tell stories, say how many stories you tell when you tell stories. Wow, that's rough. Cuando cuentes cuentos, cuenta cuántos cuentos cuentas cuando cuentas cuentos. Oof. All right, let's try this one. Tres tristes. Oh no. Tres tristes tigres trabajan trigo en un trigal. Three sad tigers were eating wheat in a field. Tres tristes tigres trabajan trigo en un trigal. ¿Trigal? Hoya, hoya es ayer y ayer ya es hoy. Ya llega el día y hoy es hoy. Today is already yesterday and yesterday is already today and the day is here and today is today. And then there's a giraffe. Tongue twisters in French. Okay, see, I took a Spanish class in high school. I am about to offend someone. Simon ton. Okay. I swear to God, this tongue twister, it's okay. If I pronounced every letter, which I know in French you don't, it says Simon ton sera tonu. I'm sorry, what is French? What is this language? If my uncle shaves your uncle will be shaved. Simon ton. I'm so sorry. I'm really not trying to be offensive. All right. Let's move on from that because I have no business doing French. Okay. All right, my back is itchy. All right, tongue twisters with R and L. Red lorry, yellow lorry. A really leery Larry rolls readily to the road. Rory's lawn rake rarely rakes really right. Lucky rabbits like to cause a ruckus. I looked right at Larry's rally and left in a hurry. That one wasn't hard. Round and round the rugged rocks the ragged rascal ran. Tongue twisters with the 33 thieves thought they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought I thought. If the thought I thought had been the thought I wouldn't have thought I thought. That sounds like Shel Silverstein. Oh, okay, story time. There is a Shel Silverstein poem about Band-Aids. Let's see. Band-Aids. And so when I was a kid, I don't know why, but if I had anything on me, even if it was just a piece of fuzz, I would cry. I would cry and cry until my parents put a Band-Aid on it. And so I remember when we opened this book, and my dad used to read a lot to me, and we came across this poem, and I just found it. It's Band-Aids by Shel Silverstein. It goes, I have a Band-Aid on my finger, one on my knee and one on my nose, one on my heel and two on my shoulder, 3 on my elbow and 9 on my toes, 2 on my wrist and 1 on my ankle, 1 on my chin and 1 on my thigh, 4 on my belly, 5 on my bottom, 1 on my forehead and 1 on my eye, 1 on my neck, and in case I might need them, I have a box full of 35 more. But oh, I do think it's sort of a pity I don't have a cut or a sore. Anyway, they used to always make fun of me about that, and then we found that poem, and it was sort of my poem, and he would just make fun of me with it. That's fun. Hardest tongue twisters, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. My father. Once again, I need to just have a podcast about my dad's stories because he is a character, and I mean that in the best way. He's a fantastic person full of laughs and is so much fun to be around. So maybe if this goes anywhere, I will have him on sometime just to tell stories because he is so much fun. I don't want to say it in case someone like cross-analyzes and like reverses it, but like I said, he showed me how to do the One Bright Morning, and he listened to Dr. Demento. And one of the things that he used to do as a kid was to figure out words backwards. So like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards is soisalopsecilcarphilocrepus. Anti-disestablishmentarianism is Misideret Nimha Silbat Sitsidana. The alphabet in one word is Abkadefkitchklimnopkurs Tuvwixias. By the way, if anyone is listening to this and recognizes those couple of things, I'm glad you know who I am, but also keep it to yourself. I can do the alphabet backwards. It's ZYXWVUTSRQPO1MLKJ HDF ETCBA. It's the little things in life that he taught me. Anyway, so hardest tongue twister, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. At some point, the sixth sheep's sick held the Guinness World Record for the toughest tongue twister. But since the category no longer exists, the title was probably revoked. I didn't even think about a Guinness World Record for tongue twisters. Let's see. This was a terrible idea, and I have zero regrets. I'm having a great time, actually. This is so much better than my original plan for my first podcast of looking at my birth chart. Looking at my birth chart is something I would do after people like care about me, and even then, I don't care about me enough to look at my birth chart. I can't find my page. Oh, I found it. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I have tomorrow off. I did do split days off. And I am donating blood tomorrow, which I encourage everyone to do. They need it right now. I swear the Illuminati is not taking your blood, despite what my mom tried to tell me, because she told me not to go give blood because the Illuminati was going to take it. And that they wanted my blood because I have O negative, so I'm the universal donor. So of course I'm gonna do it if I can. Anyway, so she was encouraging me not to because she was convinced that the Illuminati just wanted my blood so that they could track me. And you know what? It's fine as long as it helps someone. Track me up, fam. Hi, Illuminati, if you're listening. You probably found me because I gave you my blood, and it, had a link to my IP address. So you're welcome. But yeah, go donate blood, guys, to my 3 downloaders in case you're downloading again. And if you're on YouTube, you're probably me shame listening. So go to Podbean. Let's see. Okay. A couple more and then we will cut this short because I'm already at 38 minutes. So any noise annoys an oyster, but a noisy noise annoys an oyster more. If a black bug bleeds black blood, what color blood does a blue bug bleed? If 2 witches were watching 2 watches, which witch would watch which watch? Rory's lawn rake rarely rakes really right. I did that one already. Mix a box of mixed biscuits with a boxed biscuit mixer. If you notice this notice, you will notice that this notice is not worth noticing. The bottom of the butter bucket is a butter bucket bottom. Does your sport shop stock short socks with spots? Does your sport shop stock short? Oh no, okay, this one is way harder than any of the ones I've ever done. Does your sport shop stock short socks with spots? Does your short shop stock short Oh no. Does your sport shop stock short socks with spots? I give up. Does your sport shop stock short spots? Oh, you know what? I said I gave up, but I wanted to give it one more go. Does your sport shop stock short socks with spots? I'll take it. The black boot brought the black boot back. No need to light a nightlight on a light night like tonight. A skunk sat A skunk sat on a stump and thunk. The stump stunk, but the stump thunk. The skunk stunk. That's not a word. Thunk ain't a word, y'all. Lesser leather, never weathered wetter. I think I already did these. Wow, I'm having flashbacks to 30 minutes ago when I started this. To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to begin a toboggan. I feel like that would be harder if I knew how to pronounce that word, so I'm an innovator of the future. Betty bought butter, but the butter was so bitter that Betty bought better butter to make the bitter butter better. Well, I saw a saw that could outsaw any other saw I ever saw. A sailor went to see what he could see. All he could see was see. How much wood would a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood? See, that is the basic one. Toy boat, 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 toy. That was bad. Does your sport shop stock short socks with spots? Does your sport shop stock short socks with spots? Does your sport shop stock short socks with spots? Was that it? I think I just got it. You know what? That is the end of the podcast. We're leaving this off at a positive note. I just said the tongue twister. I'm going to try it one more time. That way I can be sad when I get it wrong. Does your sport shop stock short socks with spots? Oh, heck yeah. You know what? I'm an intellectual. This is what I was meant to do. All right. Should I do a cringy outro with my ukulele again? Let me grab it. Ow. Everything hurts all the time. All right. Should I do different chords? Let's do. Let me think. You know what my favorite chord is? It's this one. Because it just sounds so bright and happy. Like, I can't relate. That was dissonance if I've ever heard it. Okay, bye.